I spent countless hours in the builder trying to perfect this one build to make the best two-way sharpshooter in NBA 2K25. This build has the ability to get Legend Limitless range along with Hall of Fame Interceptor at 6'5", which is the tallest height to get that combination of badges. I went against the meta of making a short guard and instead decided to make the shortest wing build in the game because I wanted access to the best shooting badges at the tallest possible height. This build has elite shooting capabilities with access to all Hall of Fame shooting badges, and with the max +1 badge perk, you can turn any one of those shooting badges into legend, and I think I'll be going with limitless range. I've been shooting lights out on this build in the rec, and my badges aren't even maxed out yet. And if you want the jumper, you can find it on the premium side of NBA2KLab.com, along with all the shots we've been testing so far, with in-depth stats on jump shot speeds, green window sizes, and make percentages, which is getting updated almost daily. And if there was ever a time to subscribe to our premium services, it would definitely be now. But while the shooting is elite from 3-point range, the defense is right up there as well, and I've been in the lanes heavy, especially with how Interceptor is early in the year. Now, I made a couple different versions of this build in a template so you guys could tweak it how you want while still hitting those focus points. Now, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more 2K25 content, and let's get right into it. I'm going to start with my exact build that I settled on, which you saw in the intro clips. This build was made with cap breakers in mind, and I'll explain them as I go through the build. Starting with finishing, I went with an 85 dunk, and this was for the wide variety of effective dunks that you unlock at this rating. Not to mention that I've been getting some crazy putbacks on this build, and it seems like 85 driving dunk is just a good value threshold, especially because the vertical raises by default, giving this build bronze posterizer at a 65 vertical. I also gave this build a 45 standing dunk for the basic standing packages, which are very useful and cost next to nothing, so I think it's definitely worth it to put that on the build. For shooting, we have a max potential of a 96 3-point rating to unlock all the Hall of Fame shooting badges. For this build, I intend on using 3 cap breakers to hit that 96 3-point threshold, as this allows me to make a more well-rounded build from top to bottom while still planning for the future. So I stuck with a 93 3-point rating for now, which gives me gold limitless range, but don't worry because I made some builds for people who don't intend on using cap breakers as well, and those will be later in the video. Moving on to playmaking, we have a 71 pass accuracy for silver dimer, an 86 ball handle to give a silver ankle assassin and most of the dribble sigs available for wings, a 75 speed with ball for some decent dribble styles, and on this build I've been using Zach LaVine. And if you primarily play shooting guard, this is a solid budget threshold for playmaking attributes. For defense, I went with an 85 perimeter for silver on ball menace, and then we have a 92 steal. And right away, this attribute doesn't make much sense because it's not a threshold for anything, but I plan on using my other 2 cap breakers to get this to a 94 steal for Hall of Fame Interceptor. The whole point of this build is that I can be 6'5" with legend limitless range and still have enough defense for Hall of Fame Interceptor on the other end. And as I mentioned before, you can't get that combo of badges unless you're a small guard, making this build extremely unique for its size. And then to round off the defense, this build has a 60 block, which has actually allowed me to get some blocks even with this smaller wingspan. And with how cheap this attribute is, it really doesn't hurt to throw some on just like that standing dunk. Lastly, we have very solid physicals with an 85 speed and even 80 agility, and then a 73 strength for gold strong handles and bronze immovable enforcer. As I mentioned before, the 65 vert unlocks bronze posterizer, and the physicals, defense, and finishing all offer great synergy between each other, allowing this build to be extremely well rounded. The build name comes out to be a 2-way 3-level shot creator, and I've been having the most fun on NBA 2K25 when using this build. Being active in the lanes and being able to spot up on the hash or cook up whenever needed makes this build very enjoyable. Now, if you want a 96 3-point and 94 steal on this build without using cap breakers, here's a version I made to get everything right away. But you'll have to sacrifice a few things, so the dunk is lower and the physicals are at the bare minimum, but the build will still be very good. I decided to sacrifice those high-end badges for now to make sure my build has everything later on, but if you prefer it this way instead, you should still be just fine. Now, the last thing I wanted to do was show you guys a template of the build at a 94 overall, and you can basically customize it how you want while still getting the essential badges and animations. With this template, you can shape your build to fit your playstyle while still being an elite 2-way sharp. If you want higher layup, you can do that. If you want higher perimeter, you can get 95 for Hall of Fame Challenger, or you can get 95 ball handle for Hall of Fame Ankle Assassin. So there's a lot of ways to customize this build. Now, that is all I got, guys, for this video. If you found it helpful or informative, be sure to leave a like. It's been Spill, and I'm out. Later.